I saw New Mutants, and I'm going to rank all 10 PG-13 X-Men films from the worst to the best. The PG-13 films, meaning the Deadpool films and Logan, will not be on this list. Number 10, The New Mutants. This film was delayed many, many times, and for good reason. It's poorly edited, it doesn't know what it wants to be, and the dialogue is very poorly written. Number 9, Dark Phoenix. Everyone feels out of character, the dialogue is poorly written, and the story really doesn't make a lot of sense. Number 8, X-Men Origins Wolverine. Now, I'm somewhat of a defender of this film. For the most part, it's pretty solid and strong. It's a revenge movie that had potential, but then it's completely ruined by the ending. And also, it spends too much time setting up for other movies that never even ended up happening. Number 7, The Wolverine. I just don't find this film that interesting. I find the plot is kind of mad. The villain was a little bit silly. That's really all I have to say about it. It's just kind of okay to me. Number 6, The Last Stand. This starts out pretty strong in the first half, but then we deal with some really clunky dialogue and a terrible slap-in-the-face ending. Number 5, X-Men. It's a pretty dated film by today's standards because it came out over 20 years ago, but it's still pretty fun. The characters are interesting, the plot is pretty solid. It's just got some cheap effects and a few moments of poor dialogue that hold it back a little bit, but it's still a pretty solid film. Number 4, X-Men Apocalypse. I know everybody kind of hates this movie, but I found it mildly entertaining. I really enjoyed the character of Psylocke. I thought the plot was pretty solid, but the problem with it is it does reuse the same Quicksilver joke from Days of Future Past, and Apocalypse as a villain is not the best written, and it spends a little too much time trying to be sly with its wink at the camera 80s references, and it just kind of feels out of place. Number 3, X-Men First Class. This is a fantastic film. The dynamic between Charles Xavier and Eric Lehnsherr is very well done. The origin story for each of them is very well told, and the plot is very exciting, very compelling, with high stakes, and it's kind of a 60s spy movie when you get down to it. It's very well done. Number 2, X-Men The Days of Future Past. The movie that was made to essentially mulligan what they screwed up with X-Men The Last Stand, and yeah, it did that pretty well, even though the time travel rules are a little bit convoluted, and some of the acting isn't the best, but it is still a pretty good film. But the number 1 X-Men movie, in my opinion, is X2, X-Men United. This has one of the best opening scenes in a comic book movie. It gives us Nightcrawler, who, besides Wolverine, personally is my favorite X-Men. It is a little bit cheesy in some points because, again, it came out a little bit over 20 years ago, but it's forgivably cheesy. My personal opinion, it has the best story, it has the most well-written moments, and when it comes to the X-Men movies, I have the most fun with it when I watch it. So there you go. Share your ranking of the X-Men movies, and I will see you in the next time.